Thank you. So I will call the meeting to order. We have no 3-minute delegations or deputations. Can I get approval of the agenda, please? Wenda and Doug, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Any declarations of pecuniary interest, conflict of interest? None declared. Staff reports. Manager of Development Services Sands. This is a rezoning for 629 County Road 4. Go ahead, Jason.
Thank you, Reeve Wise. Through you, tonight's agenda includes 2 zoning bylaw amendment applications for different properties within our municipality. There will be, for the education of those in the audience, there will be no decisions rendered this evening. This is solely for information purposes. The applicants of each will be providing an overview and summarizing their proposal. And we will then take that information back, gather it, include it within our technical commentary, and be back in front of council at a subsequent meeting for consideration for a potential bylaw change. The first application, just as a quick overview, before the applicant provides a more detailed information, pertains to 629 County Road 4 in Tamworth. It's currently owned by Mr. and Mrs. Way and Mr. and Mrs. Tyner are the applicants. As this application pertains to a severance application that's been provisionally approved to sever a portion of the lands, which would be then transferred into the Tyner's ownership. As part of that severance approval, the provisional approval, there's been a condition concluded within that the lands be rezoned because the lands are currently not zoned to permit and facilitate the fulsome development that's being proposed. So the application for zoning bylaw amendment seeks to incorporate multiple permitted uses that are commercial in nature and allow for those to occur in a newly constructed building on site of the proposed severed parcel. And I just, again, the details will be provided more so by the applicant. With respect to the public notification and how we've made it to this juncture, there has been notice provided in accordance with our Planning Act, the public advertisement in the local Napanee Beaver, as well as signage on site and mailouts to the neighboring property owners of 120 meters have been provided in notification of tonight's meeting. We have received 1 comment, maybe 2. Both of those have been printed and provided to you for your awareness tonight. The applicant has also been afforded the opportunity to see those on our agenda. They'll be essentially considered through the technical review process and addressed in any staff report that we return to council with at a future meeting. With that, I'll turn it over to the applicant.
And I'm not using mine. If you press the silver button, that will activate the mic. And whenever you're ready.
Great, thank you. So my name is Shannon Tyner. This is my husband, Ryan. Thank you so much for having us here. We're really excited to share with you some of the ideas that we have for transforming the property at 629 County Road 4 into an area that will serve all members of our community. Just so you have an idea of who we are lifetime members of this community. Ryan was born and raised in Aaronsville and runs his successful contracting sand and gravel business out of this community, almost exclusively serving clients in the surrounding area. I was born and raised in Napanee, but was fortunate enough to have family and friends that allowed me to spend a lot of time in Stone Mills area as I grew up. Currently, I'm the principal of Ernestown Secondary School, and our catchment area does serve students in this community. Our sons, Luke, 6, and Mac, almost 3, are learning the value of being part of a small community. They go to school here, well, one of them does, play hockey and soccer and baseball in Stone Mills, and enjoy times fishing, boating, and swimming in both Beaver and White Lakes. We've been fortunate enough to have formed roots in this community, and we intentionally have chosen to lay down roots for our children here. And we want this community to serve the next generation. But we know that a small, thriving community doesn't happen without intention and with the investment of its members. And so to that end, we contribute to our community in many ways already. Our business, Tyner Construction, supports the Lions Club through the Santa Claus Parade, Canada Day celebrations, and public skating. And we personally support the members of our community through various fundraisers like the Community Christmas Concert and other things. Our vision for the first project of our newly formed company, LMT Group Properties, is to invest in this community. We think we will all benefit from promoting Tamworth as a spot to come and build some roots. So this is an overview. There would be 3 different businesses on the severed 5-acre lot. The existing car wash would stay the same with same building with new signage to indicate a change in ownership, the Stone Mill Shines Car Wash. Then there would be 2 additional developments, storage units in stages over the next few years, and a commercial building with rentable spaces to draw new businesses to the area to serve the needs of current and potential community. And this is a picture of the site plan of that proposed development. So we'll tell you a bit about the 2 new additional developments. So the first is the storage units. They would be built in stages with a total of 8 buildings with mini storage units in them. Each building would be 120 by 30 feet, and the buildings would contain 32 units in total of various sizes. And you can see a proposal here of the various sizes. This is just a proposed layout of the first unit. Once we have this filled, we would have an idea of what people were looking for and could review various different design possibilities within that same footprint of 120 by 30 feet. We think that this would be very appealing to seasonal residents, those on the lakes, people that are moving into the area, and full-time Stone Mills residents as well. The cost for each unit hasn't been determined, and there would be some restrictions on what could be stored, which would be governed primarily by the insurance companies, but that would be determined when we're closer to construction, and we would be able to provide all of that in all of our marketing once we had a better idea. The commercial building would be the next and the biggest phase of the project. We've applied for zoning to cover a wide variety of possibility of options for potential businesses. Some of the areas include a daycare, a dentist office, an artist studio, possible accountant, and other retail possibilities. We've attempted to hit many different sectors to appeal to many different people, making it as open as possible to allow us to be responsive to both the needs of the community and the creativity of the entrepreneurs that are in this area. We hope that providing these opportunities would be a draw to prospective residents. It's hard to see here, but this picture shows various different perspectives of the building from different perspectives. So more detail about that building. This design reflects our ideas of what we think would be beneficial to this community. Given the stage of life that we are in, opportunities for children to grow up in this area is always on our mind. And so a large portion of this would be the daycare facility that I mentioned. And it's shown on, I guess, on the left. In addition to that, there would be an office for our business and 6 spaces for potential renters. The space sizes shown here could be altered to serve the needs of whichever business was interested at the time, but it would stay within that same footprint.
And just, I can't read that. What sort of square footage are we looking at for these various units here, roughly?
Sorry. The square footage, it varies in size. There's bigger units they can be up to 40 feet by 40 feet, but it varies on what people want, I guess, when they move in. So we could kind of build to suit. So.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm happy to send this and it can be distributed so you'd have a better idea to see them if that's what we would like. So this is a potential design for the daycare facility. And we like lots of the aspects of this layout, but these are just our initial thoughts and this design could change. There are some key features of that are important to us, that there would be a spacious interior layout with intentional design around the growth and needs of children. an entrance that is separate from the entrance to the other areas of the commercial building, and a secure shaded exterior play area. And you probably can't see it well, but it's on the right. The top rectangle on the right is the play area. And then at the bottom on the right is a breezeway, which would just be a connection to the rear exterior of the other businesses in the building. And we've had some interest in looking at what it might look internally. This is just a starting point. Of course, we're exploring designs and different landscaping around it, but this is just something that is a proposal at this point. Finally, we believe strongly in this community, and we also believe that in order to sometimes have to create the community that you want to be a part of. And if we want our children to build roots in this area as well, we recognize the need to invest in it. We have spent the better part of a year talking and planning and working with the township and engineers to design something that would be meaningful and sustainable, and something that every member of Stone Mills could find themselves in. We're very grateful to Dave and Barb Way for presenting us with this opportunity, and to Jason and the members of the township for their support to begin this endeavor. We thank you tonight for giving us your time to share our thoughts, and we look forward to being part of the growth of this great community.
Thank you, Sharon and Ryan. Any comments from the public or questions from council? Any comments or questions? No concerns? Yes, go ahead, Angela. What's right? What's the plan there?
So there's an existing well on site, and there will be a new septic system installed to handle the commercial building. There's no water usage, therefore no septic required for the storage units. The car wash already has an existing system that will continue to stay in place. And
there's been a pump test on the well there, and there's adequate supply. I think it was 25 gallons per minute or something, Ryan?
Yes, yeah. There's lots of water in that area.
Yeah, looks good. Yeah, but that's certainly an important concern. So if there's nothing else, what else do we, there are. Yeah, okay. Wenda, go ahead.
So I'm just, we've addressed the water consumption to some degree. There would be water, though, being used in the, washrooms that would service the different offices, and certainly for the children. So I guess we would need to ensure that those water demands aren't going to conflict with the water table across the road with the 8 new units going in there. Is there any way that we can determine that at this stage, though?
Yeah, through your revise. Yeah, absolutely, Councillor Lawn, great question. The applicant has completed a hydrogeological study. It's been submitted in support, and we have a peer reviewer, Malroz Engineering, completing a peer review on that as we speak. However, in our preliminary conversation, they're generally satisfied with the preliminary submission in not affecting any of the neighboring properties, including what we have on the south side, our fire hall, the store, etc. There's just a few refinements that the peer reviewer has been looking for, and I suspect we'll have that final approval, if you will, from their perspective in the near weeks.
Okay. I have a few more things, but I'll pass it over to Crystal Lee.
Go ahead, Crystal Lee.
Do we have any potential sketches of what the storage unit itself might look like? As that's the first phase of the project, and I know we received some correspondence from locals in that might be very visible as you enter the village. It's sort of like the first thing you see as you're going to be entering Tamworth now. So I just don't know if there is any idea around that.
We have preliminary drawings, but nothing set in stone yet. If you go back to that, that there is a basic layout, but so the building itself it'll be 10 feet high at the peak, 8 foot high at the walls, and just a rectangle. We're hoping to do a siding and stuff to match to kind of tie everything all together. So,
So assuming that it would sort of match the building, the
yes,
commercial building.
completely,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jason, and I'll get back to you, Wenda.
Thanks, Revise. Just further to that comment, commercial development in the township of Stone Mill is subject to site plan control approval. So at time that we're trying to introduce multiple uses through this process, as you're aware, and we've received the comments of I don't want to say concern, but note of visual or aesthetics in making sure that it's an appealing streetscape, if you will. Those are the level of detail that we get into with applicants at site plan control, so we can ensure that there's visual buffering, vegetative buffering, berms, that type of treatment at that stage. So that's something that the applicant and our department have been in discussions about in moving that forward at that time.
Wenda?
I think the question was answered, but I would like to just say that there is a similar structure of storage units in Newburgh at the top of the hill, and I don't find it to be an eyesore at all. And also, they've got a lovely home there, which is what draws your attention to the site to begin with. So, looking at your design with the businesses and the daycare, and they're going to kind of wrap around those storage units. So I'm not sure that there's going to be a huge need for berms and things like that. It looks like it's going to be a very attractive site.
Anyone else? Yes, Wendy.
Do you have any waiting list for anything for the storage units or going into the building?
Not at this point, we don't, but we expect there will be once we get to that point.
Just one more. Will your buildings be able to hold like RVs or something for the cottagers, boats and things like that?
Possibly boats. Through conversations with insurance companies, they don't want to see gas or fuel stored inside, which is an obvious thing anyway for fire risks. So it's yeah, that's the only limitation we've kind of run into. So
Just one more note, saying the gas and stuff like that. Are you aware of what the stuff is in there? Like your liability for something, or you're close to the fire department, but.
yeah, we would have to have a contract drawn up saying that when people bring items in there, that it can't contain this, this, and this. They're certain.
Anyone else? So you just need a motion to receive the, okay, can I get a motion to receive the presentation? Sherry and Doug, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. Okay. Item 2 is DO2-2023. What's the address on this one, Jason? 3981 County Road 1. And who is going to present on this one? Yes. Oh dear. Okay. No, we've got time. Yeah. Sure. How are we doing? You ready to
Sorry
go?
about that. I left the mouse transceiver in the docking station at home. I apologize. I'm in it deep now. Okay, so.
Okay, well, compose yourself.
Okay.
And the floor is yours. Just introduce yourself and give us your presentation.
Okay, I'm Constance Connie Lowry and my husband, John Walkowicz. We live at 3981 County Road 1, and we're here to talk about our new lavender farm that we're developing. And the reason why we're here is to talk about our project. I'm just a little bit of a background. I'm originally from Amherstview, so I grew up kind of close to the area of Yarker. It's about 15 minutes away. Went to Ernesttown High School, so it was interesting to see that I had the principal from Ernesttown presenting her project. I wanted to talk to her, but didn't feel it was the time or place. But anyways, so basically, I grew up, lived here for 25 years, met my husband. We went to Queens. I met him as I was graduating and he was going back as a mature student, and we moved to Mississauga and we're back for retirement. And this is our retirement business. So anyways, without further ado, so basically we are developing a lavender farm on our property. And what is the project? The primary purpose of developing our property is to grow and sell lavender and make lavender products with the distilled oil on site and through our online shop on our website. We're lavenderqueen.ca. Our products are organic, vegan, and cruelty-free. And our goal is to become an agritourism destination, as we're a member of the Ontario Lavender Association. And with that membership, you're listed on the tourism part for that, which is called the Purple Roadmap. So all the lavender farms in Ontario are listed on that map. So we are actually listed on it right now. We will be promoting our lavender farm as a health and wellness day trip or destination. We're a seasonal business. We're operating from June to October 31st, except for the orders that come through the online store during the downtime. We're open on a full-time basis during lavender full bloom time, which is the end of June to August 1st. And the hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And after August 1st, from August 2nd to October 31st, we're on reduced hours at about 2 days per week for about 4 hours a day. So it'll be 8 hours for the week. The secondary purpose to be operated in conjunction with the agritourism business use is an outdoor event venue with less than 100 visitors. So with events, what we mean is micro weddings, small weddings, luxury picnics, meetings, yoga, corporate wellness day retreats, nature therapy walks, and photography. We have no plans for a permanent structure at all for the event use. Just a 40 by 40 tent that we have that's going to be constructed close to the long stone patio that we've recently built that overlooks our boutique lavender field right now. So right now we have about 400 plants, a little over 400. So we're small, but we do intend to grow yearly. We are going to plan to plant every year. And the proposal is to plant the front of our property in stages. Water and sanitary services are proposed through portable solar facilities rented through Bill's John's from Belleville. And power is proposed by extending our available hydro. And the benefits to the community, increased visitor traffic off the highway and surrounding areas to promote business growth. Queen Lavender Farm is registered with the Ontario Lavender Association, as I mentioned, and it's listed on the Purple Roadmap as well as social media as a summer tourist attraction. which is free advertising for the community as a whole. Connections with local businesses, such as catering companies, bed and breakfast, hotels, florists, photographers, beekeepers, etc., are planned to bring extra business revenue to the area as well as support. The significant investment in upgrading the landscaping and planting organic lavender helps not only beautify the property, and it also helps with the environment. Lavender helps with sustaining the bee population for pollination purposes, which helps grow our food. The lavender farm helps us to continue to support our community and share this unique agricultural experience. And we just put a couple of slides from, we did a photo shoot last year, so we got some nice photos. So just to give you an idea of roughly, I don't know if you can see the lavender in the background there, but lavender field weddings is roughly what we're looking at. Small, intimate, 1 to 2 hours. Possibly if they want to do a full wedding, they can do a reception after hours, which will be in the tent if they decide to have a reception. And when we say music, it's roughly like no amplified sound, like harp music. We're not promoting very long weddings at all. No, into the evening. We want cutoff times like 9, 10 p.m. And it's only, weddings will only be held on a Friday and a Saturday. So it's not like a full-time wedding venue.
Yeah, just for clarity on that one, it's going to be based on seasonal sunset, sunrise times. We want everybody off the property before the sun sets. We're not going to have, we do not plan on having large weddings at all. Like it's going to be, we're going to try to keep it to about 50 people. We can accommodate up to 100 if we have to, but we don't want it to be that big. We're kind of going for the micro size wedding events, the micro size like a corporate event, yoga retreats and things like that. So we have no interest in turning this into a venue, like a wedding type venue. It's a lavender farm first and foremost. That's our whole goal, is to cultivate, grow, and process lavender into lavender products. So. And like my wife said, we've done quite a few modifications. I get, if you drive down County Road 1, you've probably seen the what we've been doing to the property since we bought it 7 years ago. We've put a great amount of time investing into the gardens. We've reused all of the we repurpose everything that we pull from the property as well. So we've gotten soil screeners. So we screen the soil. We're trying to keep foreign materials down to a minimum. However, the front portion of the property, we had to grade it up because in the spring and in the fall, it was a swamp. Like it would just flood out and you can't grow lavender in there. So what we did was we brought the grading up. We got the permits. We went to the Conservation Authority. We got, we did it all properly. My wife did everything. We tracked all of the materials that came in as well. So we've redressed one of the water courses. So flooding stops. We put a little bit of a catch basin pond in the front to catch water, to store it. Hopefully with time, the sediment will allow water to be maintained in there all year. That's the whole goal. And if we have to aerate it, to keep an ecosystem alive in it, we will invest in that as well. So the nice thing about lavender is lavender does not require a lot of water. So we do not have to pull water from anywhere. We put another well in just to touch just for the grass. We want to keep it manicured. We want people to come out to our property and enjoy what we have. So that's what we've been doing for
6 years.
6 years now. And I always like to boast, since I've moved here, I've lost 80 pounds. Okay.
Yes.
That's hard work out in the fields.
A lot of sweat equity.
If you don't believe me, my fingers, I'm the only guy when I meet with my team members, I'm an electrical engineer, so I do engineering, but when I go on site to people's I'm the only guy with broken fingernails and dirt under them all the time. So good, honest work.
Anything more, Connie?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. We don't have any members of the public here. Any comments or questions from council? Yeah, go ahead, Wenda.
You've answered almost all the questions that were submitted, but there were just a couple. Are you going to allow outdoor fires at these events?
Outdoor fires?
Yes.
Oh, no, we do have a
We have-
small little fire pit. It's probably about 4 foot round. So we're going to limit it to that. The first shot, just to give you an idea, the first.
It's where the harp is,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
that's,
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
the fire pit right there.
Yeah, and it will be supervised by
Okay.
us. That's in my contract for the wedding contract, is if you want that on during a reception, John and I have to be there to operate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question about bright lights. It sounds like you won't be needing bright lights though if you're kind of shutting it down at dusk.
Yeah, we are putting power in up to the patio area.
Okay,
But
there's no
there's
bright
no
lights.
bright
There's
lights,
going to
yeah.
be illumination,
Yeah.
in the evening time, and it's going to be for pathways and,
Yeah.
like nothing intense. It's all going to be
Okay.
like, no, nothing that's going to cause any problems in the evening time. Like I said, the whole goal is we're going to base it on seasonal daylight time. As soon as the sun goes down, we don't want people on the property. Okay, that's
Plus,
that's
there's
the
so
whole
many
goal.
bugs they don't want.
Oh, yeah. One just last question. Someone was talking about erecting proper fencing so that the guests don't wander onto neighboring lands. Is that something you've given consideration to, or how would you mitigate that?
Okay, so there's already some fencing in there, and we've left some of the scrub in on the sides. So if they can make it through the scrub, God bless them. Okay, we have quins on the one side of our property, and then we're limiting people to the front portion of our house, and we don't want anyone, like, we have all the land in behind Quinn's and one of our neighbors as well. There's two lots. So what we will be doing is, if there is an event, we will be marshaling the property to keep people out of that area. Otherwise, they're contained. It's not, there's an old cedar fence along the one side. The front, we're going to be planting some trees along the front, and I want to put some shrubs in it where the parking is going to be, so eventually you won't see the parking lot. Like, I don't want that to be seen. So it'll be a challenge for them if they do want to wander off the
Okay.
property. Like I said, we've kept the scrub in the area, so it's pretty intense.
Anything more, Wenda?
No, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Yes, Sherry.
So I don't know if I'm just a little slow or what, but I don't understand, and I don't know whether to ask Jason or you folks, but what's different from this to what you're already doing? There's already photos of events from last year. So I don't know what the difference is.
Why it needs to
Or
be
was it
rezoned?
operating
Yeah.
without the proper zoning? Maybe that's what.
Through you, Reeve Wise, it's a great question, Councillor Milligan. I would not say you're slow. My questions were that, and we at staff's level have been working through this with the applicants. To that point, I think some of the photos and photography that's displayed in this was done purposefully through a photo shoot.
Yeah, it was.
And wasn't actually a wedding, for example.
Yeah.
That being said, we've had some communications and back and forth with respect to what's permitted under the existing zoning as it relates to what's not, and what we have to curb from an advertisement perspective. For example, corporate events or weddings, straying away from your rural zoning permissions, but the growing of lavender and the sale of some products that are related to lavender being considered like an on-farm diversified use, much like apple orchard to selling apples, pick your own strawberry, that kind of thing. So that there may be some confusion, Councillor Milligan, in the slideshow just from that front. But it's definitely a warranted confusion. It's not you.
Doug?
I have to agree with you that you have got worn fingers. I live fairly close to you.
Oh, right.
And you have done a lot of work in the last few years. And I'd have to say, from what I can see from the road, you've done it well. It's been well thought out, well planned. And in fact, I mentioned to our road superintendent a couple of years back that I thought there was a new road going in. It was done so well, your laneway, your new laneway. You know, I think actually what you're asking for, what your plans are, is a perfect fit for what we're doing here. The lavender, the hours, everything seemed to work. There is one concern that came through in the comments from the public, and I share the same concern, and that is the fact that to the west of you, there's 3 building lots, very close, the first one to your property line. And that's where you are showing the location of the 40 by 40 tent. Okay. And that concern there is around wedding receptions and noise. Now, I can agree with you. Quiet, soft music wouldn't be an issue, but a disc jockey would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't, yeah.
So I just want to make you aware that there are comments aware of that. And that is in my view, the only concern that you got,
Yeah.
because I think the rest of it is very well suited,
Yeah.
especially in conjunction with the neighboring facility that's next to you. It's very well suited to the area, and we'll do well there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to make it perfectly clear. Music is acoustic. It's limited to acoustic. We make it clear if people want to have, we will make it perfectly clear that if people plan on having a disc jockey or a amplified music band, we're not the venue. Go find another. We're going to be very limited to who really wants to come out there. Like my wife has said, it's more of a wellness place. We're not out to have crazy all night long loud music. None.
A yoga retreat isn't going
You'll-
to cause a problem, but like
Yeah.
11 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
blaring disc jockey music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When you got a neighbor 100 feet away, it's going to cause a
Exactly.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
And my contract is to be done by 9-10 p.m. max. And we will be doing if there is any type of music, it will be a sound check, and it has to meet
Yeah.
our
There's
requirement.
it's acoustic. It's going to be like string quartets, harps, acoustic guitar. Like my dogs will be louder in the evening time than the music. We have
Yeah.
I'm senior. I'm getting senior. I'm senior as well now. Like my plans are to retire, and this is what we want to do to carry us through retirement. I'm active. My wife is active, and we need to stay busy. But we don't need to deal with loud parties, permits.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I would if Lena still has it. I'm interested in maybe buying that 150-foot strip of land beside us too, like just to keep as a natural buffer between us. So I'll knock on her door probably in another 6 months or so to see if she's interested in selling it. I did want to buy it. She just wanted too much money for it the first round. So we are interested in doing that. So there is going to be no issues about that at all.
Okay.
And a lot of people just want the field wedding, like in the afternoon, and then they want to go somewhere for the reception somewhere else, because that's been a lot of the inquiries so far that I've had. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yes, Rob.
First of all, my daughter's a photographer, and I did share with her some information about this, and she was pretty excited. I'm looking forward to when it's up and going and you've got all of these things done, visiting it. It sounds beautiful. It really does.
Thank you.
We need more of this type of thing out here. Some of us have spent their entire lives in rural areas like I have here. And the more we can beautify it and the more we can bring people out. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to share your passion. You're not trying to create a venue. Like you said, you just want people to come and enjoy it, because they're probably going to ask anyway. The concerns from the citizens, you've done a fantastic job of addressing all of them. I'm listening to you and I'm slowly checking things off that you're addressing them. It sounds like you've got your bases covered. And and to Doug's point, he's been a witness to the entire process. So that bodes well with me. I think it's fantastic, and I'm really glad that you're here and you're doing this, just so you know.
Excellent. Well, I hope everyone here will come out for a visit.
Anyone else? Crystal Lee?
Yeah, I share Rob's excitement at this project. I think agritourism's really vital to our economic development. It lets us keep land for agricultural uses. My one worry is that you'll actually, be very successful in that when it comes to traffic and parking eventually, because I just noticed on your traffic memo, the anticipation in the off season of 4 vehicles per hour is the same as when lavender's in bloom. And I'm going to suspect that you're going to have a higher volume of vehicles at that time. But I mean, that's a success. So
we've taken into consideration some of the other businesses around us. I think we have one of the safest exits and entrance. I love living beside Quinn's because when it's barbecue time, I just walk out my patio and I buy a steak and I bring it back in. Okay. But there's times where people are pulling in and out of that. And it's just I'm surprised a serious accident hasn't happened just because of that. So what we did was we made sure that the exit and entrance was, the width was there to, so people can safely get in and safely get out. And we're going to have, we're going to extend the parking lot just a little bit. So there's one way in and one way out. So it goes around that way. And yes, the only time we ever anticipate a large volume of traffic, and I'm going to say it's going to be well under 25 cars in an hour. I'm guessing 2 people per car, 25 cars at a 50 person event. Okay, so I'm pretty sure. And our four cars an hour, sometimes we'll be lucky if we get 4 cars a day. So.
Go ahead.
And that might be now, but as you grow, but as I hear, you already have plans of sort of doing that. And I completely agree. I liked reading in your, the traffic report about the clear visibility, because I have the same experience at Quinn's. And it's it's clear, it's open. But I do anticipate that you're going to have, I've been to some lavender festivals and lavender farms, and in peak season, it's very busy, and we all want to go. So I think there's going to be more people who feel that same way.
And then if that happens, we do have plans to expand the parking lot back. So we can always do that, right?
Yeah, I just want to we started this as a personal thing. Okay. It was personal fulfillment for the retirement property. Okay. And then Constance came up with the rest of it. I just want to make it clear. I would love to be busy. I'm not looking to become wealthy. I'm not profit oriented at this stage in my life. I've done everything that I've had to do. I've been very blessed in my career and everything like that. So I'm looking just to stay active. I would love to see all kinds of people, and we want to pull some people into the community and everything like that. But I'm getting to an age where we wanted to grow lavender all in the back there. That's off the plate altogether. I just don't have the time to do it. My wife and I have done everything ourselves for the most part. We've hired a couple of people to do some. I'm digressing, but I'm just letting you know. I know it could get busy, but I don't want it to get overly busy. If you understand what I say, this is why I would like to. Any events that we plan on holding anyway will be ticketed and will be limited in tickets as well. So I do not want to do what they do in Prince Edward County. I've been to that one, and it's just too many people. So I don't know I can't answer that question perfectly for you. I can only reassure you that my intentions aren't to have hire people to guide in and out. I don't want it to get that big. I just want it to be, Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it. It's
Yeah.
just-
Anyone else? Very good. Well, thank you for your presentation. Can I have a motion to receive that presentation? Wenda and Crystal Lee, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. I just need a confirming bylaw for this meeting. Can I get Wendy and Sherry, all in favor? That's carried, and a motion to adjourn. Crystal Lee and Wendy, if no one's in favor, I don't care. All right.
Thank you,
So,
everybody.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Okay, we've got about half an hour. I think is there something to eat there, Jason? I've got chores.